These are the new Nightfire RC lights, and I think I'm gonna like them. There are multiple companies selling lights to fly airplanes at night, but this is the first plug-and-play system available in the market. No more hassle of running wires to the wings, soldering connectors, custom mounts, none of that. This is basically ready to go. Today we're going to install these lights into that slick right behind me. That's a Streamflight 105-inch slick. And we're gonna see how it performs. Let's dive into it. The box has some really cool printed graphics and includes a checklist that helps us get started right away. Now, what's included in the box? Well, pretty much everything you need with the exception of the batteries. You get 2 battery bay plus LED assemblies with XT30 battery connectors already soldered in and ready to use. There are also bolts, washers, and Velcro for securing the batteries. These ones I have here are the XL size, which I'll be using in the big slick, and should be good for planes from 85 inches to 115 inches. They also have large and medium sizes. Moving into installation, it's that simple. The great thing is that it uses the existing wingtip threads for side force generators present on most modern aerobatic airplanes, making it a pretty straightforward process. For power, you'll need 2 batteries, 1 per wing. It uses 3 cell LiPos. Nightfire lists a few recommended batteries on their website. In my case, I'm using these Pulse 450 mAh batteries. One small nitpick I have is about these Velcro loops. They're not the easiest to tighten, especially when you have the battery in there. It would be nice if they included the hook and loop type Velcro. It would make tightening the batteries much easier. Other than that, make sure to mount the lights with the tapered end in the front and the battery in the back, as the LEDs are set at an angle to light up the tail properly. Also, wait to plug in the batteries until right before takeoff. The LEDs can get pretty hot if the airplane is on the ground without airflow, and that will decrease their lifespan. When you compare this installation process to the ones from Aurora Lights or Lucid, you can see how I'm pretty excited about this. With the other ones, you need to solder connectors, solder wires, run wires through the wings. You even have to figure out how to mount the LEDs themselves to the wings. As a bonus with these ones, you could even easily swap the LED assembly between airplanes because there's really nothing specific you have to do in the airplane itself. Alright, let's talk about visibility in the air. How do these lights perform? Well, I tested the lights in various scenarios. For relaxed sport flying, the lights perform very well and the airplane is easy to see regardless of orientation, as long as you keep it at close or medium distance. Flying low and slow over the runway is very easy even in pitch black nights. Extreme aerobatics is doable, but it requires a good amount of focus. On the other hand, flying at far distances can make tracking the plane orientation pretty challenging. The biggest issue with this type of light system, regardless of the brand, is that even though the lights illuminate the plane very well, the LEDs themselves are extremely bright, which become a bit blinding and overpower everything else your eyes can see. If you never flown at night, it takes some time to get used to it, but overall, the visibility is pretty good. Battery flight time is of course pretty important. We definitely don't want to lose a plane because our batteries run out on the middle of the flight at night. In my testing, I found that the 450 mAh batteries let me fly for 8 to 9 minutes without going below 30% charge. Now, how does the Nightfire light stack up against other light options in the market? From what I've seen, performance seems pretty similar across Nightfire, Aurora, and Lucid. So let's take a look at the other 2 key factors: ease of setup and price. As I mentioned before, ease of setup and quality of the components is where Nightfire shines. It would be hard to make the installation process any easier. On the other hand, Aurora and Lucid feel more like a weekend project to get it ready to go. What about price? For bigger airplanes, it's a no-brainer. Nightfire, Aurora, and Lucid have similar pricing for large-scale airplane kits, and Nightfire has everything you need to get it going. For smaller planes, it gets a bit trickier. $145 feels a bit steep for lights for a 48-inch airplane. If you're willing to put some extra time soldering and figuring out the mounting system, you will likely save some money using Lucid or Aurora. If you want something plug and play with really good quality, you'll just need to pay a bit extra for the convenience. Before we wrap up, here are some tips for you if you're interested in trying flying at night, whether it's with these Nightfire lights or some other brand. First, I recommend doing some testing during the day. This will allow you to ensure the attachment is secure, figure out the duration of your batteries, and get familiar with the system before your first night flight. Ideally, your first night flight should happen before it gets completely dark, kind of around sunset. Any little light will help both when setting things up on the ground and during the flight. And finally, keep your first few flights conservative. Don't venture too far and keep total control of the airplane until you're fully comfortable with the light system. And there you have it. These are my thoughts about the new Nightfire lighting system. Overall, I'm pretty happy with it. I think it's a great value, especially for big airplanes. I love how easy it is to set up, and the performance is pretty good in the air. Thanks for watching, and let me know if you have any questions or comments. And comment below if you have tried night flying. Let us know how it went. Happy flying!